Putting the helmet on is always tough.
The opportunity is right now.
Terrific defensive play. Intercepted. Off the back. Two on the move. Going deep. Speed race. He's got Hill. He's got Hill. The Dolphins have recaptured the lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got a show for you today. Boys, how we feeling? Boy, we have a show. We got so much news today. It is wild to me.
A lot to talk about.
I love when the intro's playing and we look in the chat and everybody's like, I can't watch this intro anymore.
Oh man.
I think we're keeping it. We're keeping it, dude, for as long as possible. As long as we can get away with it, we're going to keep the intro.
I agree, though. We're pretty much there.
Yeah, we're pretty much there right now.
We got some production limitations right now, so
let's see who's in the building first before we make a new video. How about that?
There we go. That's a good.
Right? Like we're in a big change here right now, so like if we were to try to make a new video right now, it would be a kerfuffle.
You're right. We have to learn.
What was the word? Cam Whoop say? Kerfuffle?
Yeah, I can't remember. There was a couple of them.
I know I just botched it, but there it is.
It was something to do with fighting.
Yeah, kerfuffle. That's what it was.
I don't remember. One thing I thought
Somebody
about
in the chat will know 100%.
One thing I thought about doing instead of like, so we don't get tied to like player specific, is just doing like a very like, don't commit to any player intro. Like it shows like a picture of Ghost and it's like Ghost. And then it plays a couple of highlights and then it's like Bobby. A couple of highlights. It's like Joe. That way it's like endless. Like you can just, it's timeless and nobody can make fun of us. Kerfuffle.
I mean, they'll still make fun of us, but it'll be warranted.
Yeah. All right. Before we get in here, a couple things. Eric's still on paternity leave. God bless him. He almost made it, so I think he'll probably be back soon. Wingo should be joining the show. He's swerving. He's trying to get to the house, so Wingo should be dropping in at some point. And then before we get going, I do want to announce this. If you hadn't seen it yet, new show. Unless you live under a rock, we announced, teased a little something today on the timeline. New show coming on Fridays. We're excited about this one. This has been something that we've worked on a long time, and it's gonna bring something no one else is doing to the stratosphere. When we first linked up with Tranquilo and the boys and Andre and them, it wasn't just like, hey, we want to sign on with y'all and how can you help us? It was what can we do together collaboratively to be different. You know, let's not just team up for the hell of it. Let's do something no one else is doing. And, you know, with their production skills and, you know, our platforms and their platforms, we came up with this. So on Fridays, from noon to 1:30-ish, every Friday, we got something coming for y'all. We're really excited. It's a full-scale platform sports show. It's not limited to any topic. Whatever is the headline of the week, we'll be talking about it. Golf, pickleball, it doesn't matter. Football, basketball, national championships, everything. And it's a full-scale production, professional production. Stay Tranquilo really didn't hold back any pennies on paying for this and getting the right equipment. And it's going to be, it's one hell of a quality show. We did a little run through the other day and I was amazed. I had the bar high and they overachieved. So very excited to bring that to you guys on Friday at noon.
I mean, at the end of the day, we really are just a bunch of guys being dudes. It just is what it is. It really fits the dive bar realm, per se. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Excited for everybody to tune in. Please, the first episode, we need the noise.
Yeah,
we need some energy. Take your lunch break. Go get your chicken kitchen, your Chipotle, and let's cook.
Go. All right, where y'all want to start at?
Well, I think it's quite fitting to start with the Tomlin news.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super relevant. It just happened. I guess we could start off by saying what's your pulse on the situation, Bobby?
Honestly, I don't have a pulse. I think it's so weird. Like, honestly, all these coaching people, it's like there's a big question mark with all of them, right? Like Harbaugh, it doesn't seem realistic. And that was like, if we fire McDaniel, it's got to be for Harbaugh, but then it's just not really passing the sniff test. Not to say it's not possible, but Tomlin is like, he stepped down, so he's not technically available. You'd have to trade for him, but maybe he can finagle his way. I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm just glad that I haven't hitched my trailer to anyone. Like, I haven't been out there like, it's Harbaugh or nothing. I'll jump off the side of a building. Like, I really have no clue what the hell is going to happen. I will say that the Hafley, like it or not, the Jeff Hafley noise has not went away. So I'll say that. That's really all I got.
Heard. What about you, Ghost? How you feel about the whole Tomlin situation?
I mean, the whole I'm stepping away thing is code for we respect you enough to not put out a public statement that you were fired. I really do think he's taken, the year off, as he said. He said he's going to try some TV. Who knows if that Bills job opens up? If the Bills don't make it past the next round, it looks like that McDermott's safe, obviously. But maybe not. He's Buffalo gets really loud, especially even if they lose in the AFC Championship, they get super loud about McDermott. Maybe if that opens up, he could be a candidate there. But I'm going to take his word for it until we see otherwise, that he's going to take a year off. I'm really not considering him for the Miami job until Tomlin says, like, hey, I'm actually going to go back into coaching. Then I'll start to consider it. But I have other candidates that I'd take over him anyway. I obviously am still all in on Harbaugh. I'm probably going to end up disappointed because everything that's coming out about Harbaugh, whether it's just smokescreen or whatnot, is like, he's not coming to Miami. Miami's never mentioned in any Harbaugh posts that have been recent. I'm going to be disappointed if it's not him. I want it to be him badly. You have Stefanski. You have a couple other guys that are really good, but as far as Tomlin goes, I'm not taking him to Miami at all seriously or even entertaining the idea.
Yeah.
Understood. I mean, where I'm at with it is it's interesting, right? It's definitely something to keep on your radar, as Bobby would say. I will say I thought it was interesting. Josina Anderson came out and reported that he has multiple times brought up warm weather, Miami, also Tampa, which Tampa won't be available, obviously. But how about, would you be happy with him? Would you be content with us getting Tomlin?
Oh, yeah. Tomlin, hell yeah.
All right, hell yeah. What about you, Ghost?
I don't know. I got fans that are from the Steelers Nation, some that are straight from Pittsburgh, and they're kind of like it was time. Not only was it time, but they were stuck on a cycle for so long. And the thing they pointed out, and this was really every Pittsburgh fan, like diehard Pittsburgh. And if you don't know Pittsburgh fans, they're super diehard. Like, they live and die. It's kind of like Green Bay out there. There's really not much to do except go to the Pittsburgh games. I know it seems weird because it's a big city, but that's really their lifeblood. And they made a really good point, was Tomlin could never get the quarterback situation correct. He didn't pick Big Ben. Bill Cowher, he cultivated Big Ben. You know what I mean? So he inherited Ben Roethlisberger alone. Never got the quarterback situation correct after him. Never got it right at all. And what's the problem in Miami? Do you want to repeat that issue? Or,
that's a really, really good point. That's a really good point.
I don't, I know that we had a shot at him. When was it? Like a decade ago? I forget what turnover that was.
Yeah, before he went to the Steelers.
Too hip hop for Miami, whatever the hell it was. I think he would have been a good coach then for Miami. I think bringing in that culture would have been great for Miami and the players here. But now probably wouldn't be overly excited about it, especially with the quarterback situation.
I wanted to say this a little bit for like Wingo, because I know like he's played at the highest level out of us, but is it not weird? Like, I feel like the NFL is kind of leaving these guys behind. I mean, like, not to be funny, but like the ways of the league are kind of making like the Harbaughs and the Tomlins and the McCarthys. Like, it's like there's a reason all these guys are available. And then you got guys like McDonald and, Mentor and Kubiak. They're like the hot names. Ben Johnson, they're out there winning. These guys are winning and they're first-time head coaches. It almost seems like the league is just kind of leaving that style of coach behind a little.
Yeah.
What's crazy is we were breaking it down, and if you really think about it, I think there was 4 coaches in the playoffs for that were first-time head coaches.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the turnover in the league too. At some point, you're going to have that full turnover. We're used to the same coaches at some places for so long. Like look at Harbaugh and look at Tomlin. These are guys that were tenured for decades for their team. It's just I think it's just turnover plus these organizations finding some good guys.
Now, here's my thing with the whole head coaching situation. I think that I know. I know that I'm on board right now with I don't want a first-time head coach because we just got done dealing with that. I think that Miami is in the position right now where we need somebody that's going to come in with a set culture that when he walks in the door, his culture walks in the door, his philosophy walks in the door, his core values walk through the door immediately. Everybody knows what they expect from him. When he walks in the room, he demands respect. We haven't had that. And I feel like that's the change that I'm looking for, which is why I'm so high on Harbaugh, which is why I'm actually pretty high on Stefanski as well. If a LaFleur becomes available, somebody with maybe head coaching experience who worked for a successful organization, who maybe didn't get the job done, but one that deserves a second chance, that you can see the light with this guy. And I brought somebody up earlier in this week, and it caught a little bit of wind and some pushback, a lot of pushback. But Robert Saleh is a guy that I could stand behind and say, listen, he didn't get a fair shot at the Jets. Does anybody get a fair shot with the Jets? No. And the issue is because he was the New York Jets head coach, we're all looking at him like, fuck no, absolutely no way, we're not taking him. And the moral of the story is that guy's philosophies lies right with what the fuck we need. And Sully's first written statement when he's saying we're going to forge physicality, this, that, and the other, like he's going to bring in a coach that is going to be like-minded. So I don't think we're going to get cute with this hiring, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I really hope they don't. It was kind of funny. Barry Jackson put out a tweet today. He's like, I think we brought in a safety on a futures contract from Packers. And, you kind of hear the rumblings like, oh, you're bringing in your guys. And Barry made a point like, hey, everybody does this, especially when it's a first-time GM. But I'm like, listen, Barry, it's fine for players. But if you're bringing in a coach just because you're boys with them, like, I'm going to have a problem with that. And, we can pivot to Halfley. We can pivot to all these guys. But to your point, to Saleh, I do see where you're coming from. It's just we have the chance. It sucks because we have a chance to hire Harbaugh. And, like, that's where I'm at. That's just simply where I'm at. And I know it's kind of unrealistic to be like, that's what I want, and that's the only thing I'm going to accept. But I'm going to be disappointed without Harbaugh. Like, that's the guy I want in this building. That's the guy that I think can change the culture of Miami. First-time head coach isn't going to do that. Robert Saleh maybe can. He's a man of the people. He's an athlete.
I mean, he's really got to dig deep for some OC love, though. He's got to bring a fire OC, and I'm talking like a Kingsbury, a fucking Dayball if you don't get an HC job. Like, I'm talking bringing a big hitter.
Yeah, he needs a good staff. Now, I think that he'd be great for the defense. Obviously, big defensive guy here. I think we all know that at this point. I think he'd be great for the defense and help build that defense up. I think we need a good draft for the defense, but I do agree that. And then it's kind of you run into the issue of you're creating more work for yourself, and you're kind of putting the coaching staff behind the eight ball by not hiring a guy like Harbaugh who's got all this shit together, who knows what's going on, versus hiring a second-time head coach, kind of like a first-time head coach because it was just the Jets. Couldn't build a staff with the Jets for how many years? He got every chance possible. Couldn't get the quarterback situation right. Big thing for me. To be fair, though, the Jets defense throughout those years, they played their ass off. They were losing games 17-0. So, it's kind of tough.
One thing
but
for sure.
I do see your point. He will command respect, and that's the kind of guy we want.
Yeah, I think this is like we would all sign up for this. I think me and Joe actually wrote this out one day.
Yeah.
But that's
I wrote out a bunch of combos, me and Bobby, one day, and we looked at them and we were like, yeah, these all work. Yeah.
That's where I'm at with most of these guys. I think that I would love a Wingo.
Wingo's in the house.
Hey, shout out Derek Wingo reporting live after taking a huge Justin Herbert. How you feeling?
Mike Tomlin.
I think we know where Wingo stands on the Tomlin situation.
Goodness gracious. I don't even know if you guys probably already talked about it a little bit, but
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Though.
yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
please
Yeah,
elaborate.
we're right.
I was
Give us the
definitely
Wingo. Hey, give us the Wingo wacky take here.
Yeah, so I'll give you obviously 19 years, right? Guy never had a losing record, very successful, very respectable head coach that a lot of people have a lot of admiration for him. And it is upsetting, forced to being stepped down is more of like being fired, not being able to get over that hump. I know they put a lot of trust in Aaron Rodgers at the age of 42, 43 when he came back from Ithaca or wherever he was doing his little mental breakdowns. But it's tough. I think he's going to be a guy, looking over some of our texts today in our group chats. He's going to be a guy that's either going to get another head coaching job or he's going to be an analyst for a long time and make a lot of money. He's somebody that knows the game. He's been around for a while. Sad to see him leave, but he's going to be somewhere around football still. That's definitely going to be successful. And it's these guys are funny in here. And it's cool to see. He's going to move on and do something great, but that's what I was laughing at actually. So yeah, I don't know what you guys spoke about it already, but
We did.
Well, I guess the only question we really have for you is there any chance he becomes a head coach this year?
I think that's going to be more of a personal question. I think when you're at that level and being in the game for so long, when you do have an opportunity to take some time off, he's going to get back with his family and everybody and sit down. It's like, hey, do I need to take some time off? Maybe do I need to do something else or just relax for a second? Because you think about the NFL season is long for these guys. They go from, I know college is year round. NFL has a little bit more of a break, but it's like, hey, I've been doing this for 19 years. I've been, on and off season, on season, trying to get to the playoffs. And it's just new reoccurring mission every single year. And after 19 years, that can be a lot, right? You look at guys, I mentioned before, like, Dan Mullen or guys that just, take a year or so off to reflect, right? Get with their family, spend time with them and, really realize it. And then they get bored, right? It's like, we want to get back in the game. It's like that fire and anger that you just kind of want to be, that excitement of almost like when you're gambling at the roulette table, seeing if it's black or red. It's like that excitement to hit every time. So yeah, I could see him, taking some time off for a year. There's a lot of head coaches, that are out of jobs right now. He would be, one of the coaches that would be a priority, want to get in somewhere. But I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him, take a little bit of time off and kind of just enjoy himself for a little bit.
So the complete opposite of Ghost Take. Got you.
I said that he's taking a year off. So pretty much we're in agreement. It's not even fun to think about it because he's probably taking a year off.
Yeah, but it's so weird how people have to have those smoke screens out talking about Miami and the warm weather. And it's just, they always have to do that to us. I think it's because they know how easy it is to trigger Miami fans that they always put that bait out there for us to be like, Tom, let's come into Miami.
I will say anytime a quarterback, gets released, a head coach gets fired, or there's some, admiral player that's on the market or on the trade deadline, it's like, he's coming to Miami. He's coming to Miami. And it gets everyone fired up and it blows up my page. And it's like, why are you guys even doing this to yourself at this point?
Every time, Derek.
Yep.
Every fucking time.
Speaking, the hype man speaking himself too.
Yeah. I'm the leader. Listen, yeah, of course I'm still at Harbaugh or bust, but I'm also Bobby's been talking a lot of sense into me this offseason. He's trying to knock me down a few notches. And it's worked. I'm still in the fight, but I mean, the Harbaugh situation doesn't look awesome right now. So I am starting to look otherwise because it looks like Atlanta or the Giants for him. I mean, I don't see any other fit for him right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking Stephen Ross is going to have to pay him $20 million a year just to get him to even come for an interview.
I mean, I don't think the checkbook's the issue. I don't think the checkbook's never been an issue for Stephen Ross. Never at all been the issue.
Yeah.
It's just like, I hate that he's not. And I mean, it could be, you know how these things work. They always go to the team that you never expect. And Miami not being mentioned in every single Harbaugh tweet about who he's meeting with, who he's calling, who he's on the phone with. Miami not being mentioned could be a good thing historically, where it's, the team that's not really mentioned a lot. That's the one he goes to. But yeah, I agree. Joe Robbie's dad, open the checkbook. Whatever
I mean,
you
it's
want,
really
buddy.
simple. It's really simple. Just give him full control. Give him 20 million. Let's go get a Super Bowl. Let's
Do
go
we
out. Hey, let's go out a trophy to go shelf.
There's no like cap rule for coaches, right? You pay
No.
whatever you want, right?
Yes.
Which is more of a reason why Ross should have the best coaches always. The guy loves paying players and then shipping them out. Why not pay a coach and fix everything?
I want to hear why he doesn't want Harbaugh. You know what I mean? If it comes out that Stephen Ross says he wasn't our guy, it's not somewhere we're looking at. I want like a 10 bulleted list of defined points of why this guy shouldn't be here.
So I got a question that just kind of sparked it by one of these comments. Why, kind of the reasons, obviously I know a few, but why are the reasons you would want Harbaugh? Like, what has Harbaugh done to make it like he's the right fit for Miami? Like, you're the guy that can come in, figure out the Tua situation, figure out the quarterback situation and the offensive scheme.
One, I like the physical and discipline culture. I mean, you look at the Baltimore Ravens, that's the kind of, over the past years, the Baltimore Ravens, you always look at defense, running game, like just hard-nosed football. And that's the kind of culture that we need in Miami and what they're trying to build, with this developed run game that Mike McDaniel tried to implement towards the end of the year. I really do think that he's got a track record of developing quarterbacks. I mean, you can make the argument that he helped develop Lamar Jackson to the quarterback that he was. He did develop that initial system. Lamar Jackson almost, he rushed for 1,200 yards in. Joe Flacco, obviously, coming from Udell, making him a Super Bowl champion, knows what it takes to go to the Super Bowl. And I mean, you could make the argument about, recent Super Bowls, recent playoff success. They've been first round exits for how many years? You could always make that argument, but we've tried this first time head coach thing so many times in Miami, and even giving it the learning curve, like even McDaniel with the learning curve, like we were like, all right, learning curve, year 2, learning curve. Okay. Year 3. All right. He should be catching on year 4. And it's like, are you really going to say that, Mike McDaniel, first time head coach, he would have got it in year 5? You know what I mean? There's so many, how many times you have to try the first year head coach thing and it not work out before you're like, let's actually try a guy with proven success. He coached at the highest levels, some of the best teams in the league, Super Bowl champions, AFC championships. Let's just give it a shot.
I mean, you basically covered it.
This is not like the popular take or whatever, but like, I'm not crazy about Harbaugh just because like, I feel like he's on the way out. I feel like the style is not working. Like it's starting to like kind of drift off. And then I also feel like on top of that, he's going to want full power, 20 million, another 20 million for staff, full power over roster, draft decisions. It's like, at that point, it's like, all right, I don't give a shit. You're going to be here 5 years anyways. I don't even care.
Was that a real list of demands, by the way? I saw it once and never saw it again. I saw that tweet, and I think it was like Finn's Extra that put it out. It was one tweet, and it never, like nobody ever said it.
It came from an ESPN show, and it came from a real reporter. But I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you can almost imagine though, like that's real. I've seen a few people say like Harbaugh is going to demand this much on the open market. Like whoever ends up getting Harbaugh is going to be paying close to 20 million a year. So to me, it's just like, if it's going to be all that, it's just like, just go roll the dice. This might be a tank anyways. And who cares if it doesn't work? It'll be perfect. We'll be in first pick. Go give Kubiak his money and let him blow this bitch up. I don't care.
See, this is the thing is that the chat is super high on Chris Shula, and like, I get it. The idea of having Shula in the building sounds sick, but like, bro just got the brakes beat off him by Bryce Young. Mm-hmm. Matt Stafford is the only reason they're moving on. Like, let's be real here. That was very alarming. Not good before going into head coaching interviews, in my opinion.
Well, the cool thing about watching the playoffs is we get to watch all these guys, right, that are on our list, that are coordinators, watch their units. If y'all remember how awesome it was watching San Fran when we were talking about Mike McDaniel the first time, man. Watching Debo playing running back and then the 6th offensive lineman in motion, we're like, oh, this guy's going to be such a mad genius. He's going to bring all that here, which didn't happen really. But, yeah, I think Shula, He went out there. Bryce Young torched him. I do understand Shula has the least expensive defense in football, apparently. So that does mean something. Then Halfley, he had us in the first half. I ain't gonna lie. He had us in the first half. Halfley was doing his thing, and then the second half, really, it was just the fourth quarter, right? Wasn't it like the fourth quarter they gave up like 21 points?
Yeah.
And look, honestly, they don't miss 2 field goals and an extra point. The Packers are still in this thing, but we have to talk about what we got to talk about. But to me, it's just like I was already thinking kind of in my head, Shula's probably a little too wet behind the ears still. He's probably a year early, 2 years early. And then you just see the performance and Bryce Young torches you. And it's like, yeah, that's why these guys are risky picks. And I know the name sounds cool. It's such a legacy thing. Like he can break the curse and maybe. But I just feel like if you're being serious, Shula's probably not that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. If I'm going for any first-time head coach right now, go get me Kubiak.
We could talk about Kubiak. Yeah, sure.
I like Minter, bro. My problem with Minter is I don't know if he's been around long enough to have a Rolodex to build a staff. But Minter, elite DC at college level, Michigan. Comes to the NFL, elite defense. We're talking about they don't have no elite players on that defense either. Like he really coaching these boys. Like they got Derwin James, but they you can name probably 3 players on the Chargers defense. He's getting the most out of those guys. T.R. Tart was on the way out of the league. He's now the #1 ranked defensive tackle in football. Shout out.
And where was he? Where was he before that?
Vic Fangio,
the farm league, brother.
Oh my God, dude! If I had $1 every time a Dolphins player got cut and went become a superstar somewhere else, dude.
I'm saying, Minter, young gun. What is he? 38. Has had successful units at both levels. Obviously, this is the biggest jump, but to me, that sustainability at different levels is a huge compliment, and that really catches my eye. Obviously, he's young, and I don't know who he can build if he can build a staff. That would be the biggest thing with him. With Shula, it's who they got on the other side of the ball. Saleh, all these guys. Stefanski. I need Stefanski. I would go for Stefanski if I knew he had a proven commodity at offense coordinator right now. I'd sign up for Stefanski. That is the problem with these guys, though. I love Minter. We have a Chargers fan in the chat. He knows ball. Minter is the man. Young gun, looks sharp. I just don't know what staff he can build. But if I had to choose a first-timer, I've been pounding the table for Minter. I really love what he's done.
Don't forget what Kubiak's doing with Sam Darnold. That's all I'm going to say.
And
did we bring Minter into a
I believe so.
Today, they announced it today. He's coming in to the Dolphins.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, the list that we have is great. I'm happy with that list.
Dude,
somebody brought up Kelvin Shepherd, by the way, and I don't know much about him.
Former Dolphin. Yeah. LSU Tiger, linebacker. I seen some clips. I seen a couple clips of him, like the way he talks in his meetings now as the DC. Pretty cool. He gets on people's asses. He tells the vets that the rookie's taking their fucking job and you better wake up. Like, I don't care if he's a 6th round pick. You're going to lose your job. So, hey, I mean, and that's cool, but like that don't make you a good head coach. I think Kelvin Shepherd's probably early and they're, doing their due diligence. But Kelvin Shepherd's, he did good in his first experience as a DC. He's kind of moved up really fast, honestly. So this is probably just one move a little too early for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, going back to, just for Minter is, I think, we knew from VBS, we heard it every single time how Herbert had an elite defense. And honestly, the Chargers defense played very well this year. Again, you're losing games, giving up 17 points, 20 points. What else are you going to ask for,
I don't know I'm gonna look it up right now, but I know at one point the Chargers had the #1 secondary in football for sure. #1.
I believe it. I mean, they did a good job against the Patriots. They just couldn't score. They did a great job, in my opinion.
Yeah, so they are passing yards allowed 5th, run defense 1st.
Be kind of great.
So just saying. And I'm not saying they don't have any ballers on defense, but you don't sit here and name off 10 players on Chargers defense right now. I think
I can read you a Khalil Mack.
Derwin James, obviously a bona fide stud. That's a superstar.
I got for you, Bob.
I got nothing else.
19-26 actually is pretty good against teams over 500.
The secondary, the back seven is technically what that is for PFF. Secondary was 4th in PFF coverage.
This is we got the Chargers fan in the chat. Dante Jackson was a free agent. We signed him for cheap, and he was great this year. So good free agent signing.
I like
pickup,
Dante Jackson.
player
from the
personnel.
Panthers.
2 other corners are 5th round picks, and he's having success with that defense. I think we know about cornerbacks.
Which just goes back to how good Harbaughs are at drafting.
There you go. It actually goes back.
Right
it goes back to the Harbaugh family.
Like if you, Derek, you asked earlier, I didn't really touch on it much, but like just the draft alone, like how many years have we salivated over Baltimore's drafting? You're just damn, Baltimore got this guy. Oh, he got the guy. Oh, he got the safety. Oh shit, they got the.
They always take the chance too. The dude that has the red flags, probably represented by Rosenhaus. I'm just kidding.
and honestly, their rookies are always playing and they're always studs. Like it's, yeah, I'm still all in on John Harbaugh. Maybe he learns from this experience. He brings some young guns in. Maybe he doesn't bring Monken. Maybe he brings a younger OC in. Who knows? You don't know what's on his mind right now. All right, I'm done.
No, for sure. I mean, yeah, the Ravens are one of those teams that we're in the group chat every year going, of course they drafted him. They took our mock draft. Like they take all the guys that we love. They're not afraid to take risk. Like I said, I was being funny, but guys sliding down the board, they're super talented, but they got some character concerns. They trust because of the culture they have in place. They can take anybody, bring them in and kind of help him, guide him, and get the most out of him. And they get the reward for that a lot of times because they can do that. Also, what the hell else you going to do in Baltimore? I mean, well, I shouldn't say that actually. I shouldn't say that. There's a lot to do in Baltimore.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, we're getting the inside scoop from Chargers fans here in the chat. This is pretty cool. We usually don't get a lot of Chargers fans, but hey, him and Herbert and Tua are having a nice Cancun vacation right now. So let's get together.
Oh shit.
That's the other thing about Minter and Harbaugh that could help you guys as well with drafting. He was in college 2 years ago. So he scouted and recruited a lot of these guys personally, that's a really good point, is he probably scouted a lot of these guys that he did help pick up in the draft back in college. Like, hey, I know this name, I know this guy, this 5-star, this 4-star, this 3-star. It's a good point.
I would say that Harbaugh is somebody that, when you look at recruiting around college football, who walks in the building, right? On pro day, you see if, it's just an area scout or your head scout is there. And Harbaugh was one that was a frequent appearance in places where he would go personally and meet these guys and talk to them and want to put an eye on them. So I think that's important when you have a head coach that's willing to actually go out there on the road, see these guys in person, be like, hey, that's who I want to draft. I see potential in him. I think that's definitely something that is a game changer. I mean, I never saw Mike McDaniel anywhere around any facilities or that being posted. I saw Harbaugh, and I think that could be the difference in some of these draft classes when a guy's actually there and you're not just getting insight from 7 other recruiting and scouts. And then when it comes draft time, someone takes your guy off the board, you're all scrambling and just going with option number 6. So,
yeah. I'll never forget when everybody thought Mike McDaniel was smiling at Xavier Worthy, but he ended up smiling at Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
Hey, do we think Mike McDaniel lands a head coaching job this year?
I would love to be able to sit in one of those interviews and see how that goes. Just like knowing how he is as a guy, like seeing him being interviewed by another organization. What is he wearing? Is he wearing his little pulled up sweatpants and his shiny shoes walking in there? And I don't know. It's funny to think, but I think he's a successful coach for somewhat. And I think someone's going to pick him up. If he's not a coordinator, I think he's going to be someone that's a part of whether or not an analyst or somewhat a lower level coordinator. I think he's good at what he does. It's just, whether or not, will he mold with the people around him, I think is the biggest thing.
I think there's so many jobs, but there's also so many people trying to get these jobs that I think what could be best for Mike, honestly, is to take one of these. If Philadelphia is now available, go to somewhere like that or Detroit with some stability, learn from the best, see a winning culture, really get that under your belt, and then try to bounce back in 2027. I think that he could do a lot for those teams as well. I think you take a lot off his plate and let him just lock himself in a dark room like they said he used to do in San Fran and just build a game plan and be an offense coordinator, not worried about everything else, I think he could really benefit Philadelphia and Detroit as well. I think that'd be good for him.
I think it'd be really – yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say this one kind of threw me off. So, like, in my opinion, like, why I know Mike McDaniel is successful in other ways, but you got to look at it. Why take a coach that hasn't been able to get over that hump to an organization that hasn't even gotten to the mountain yet, right? We were talking about wanting to hire experienced guys, and you want to hire, guys that have proven it or know how it works or know how to work in the office. Why would a team like Cleveland or a team like Tennessee go after, Mike McDaniels when it already wasn't working out in Miami, right? You're looking at guys like, anybody else that's successful and has been to the playoffs, has been in an organization that knows how it works. I think that Cleveland and Tennessee would be really dumb to do that. Nothing against Mike McDaniels, but if I was a GM, I'm wanting to go after somebody with experience, with history, that has been there before, knows what they're doing, and can get the right people around it to make their program and the organization successful.
This is a really, really good time for me to remind Derek that it is the Cleveland Browns we're talking about.
It would be funny to watch Mike McDaniel in Cleveland wear like
the opposite of Miami.
Like,
the dog pound. Mike McDaniel's in the dog pound.
Walking in the dog pound with
he's definitely vaping. He's definitely gonna be vaping again on the sideline.
This the Chargers fan brought up a really, really, really funny point, and McDaniel has the opportunity to do the funniest thing and make Herbert an MVP quarterback. He could he could do the funniest possible thing that's probably like top 3 funniest things we've seen in Dolphins.
Would it be funny though?
Man,
I know you have your agendas, Ghost, but that would absolutely crush. That would
be crushing. It would be crushing, but could you imagine if he goes to Los Angeles, takes an offensive coordinator role, and Herbert throws for like 5,200 yards, 40 touchdowns, and it's just like,
why are you even putting that in the universe, dude? Relax.
But
because if it happens, I have been saying and have said on the podcast.
Fair.
Documented.
Fair.
I think, to Derek's point, though, I think that one, everybody's not going to get their dream coach, right? So somebody, not to be disrespectful, will settle or have to pick between a Mike McDaniel and a Kubiak, or, it's not going to be perfect. But you also look at like the Cleveland Browns. The biggest storyline coming out of there was Stefanski set Shador up to fail. He put him in bad situations. He did this to him. And you get that. Same with like the Flores and Tua. And then McDaniel comes in and shows him 800 clips why he can be great. And I believe in you. And he's kissing him on the forehead. It's like you see that and you have a young guy and you want it to work out. And you can believe that he can come do that with your guy. So I think that's the one selling point that, and you might even be able to say, I'm not saying it's true or not, but some people might say, hey, my young quarterback's more talented than Tua. He turned Tua into the number 1 passer in football 2023. What can you do with my guy? So I do think he has some selling points. I really think he should just take a year and go gather himself in a good situation.
But it's also Mike McDaniel we're talking about, and this guy's obsessed with football and obsessed with success, right? So it's like he's starving for that next opportunity to prove everybody wrong, because I feel like that's kind of his motto in life. I feel like he's been doubted a lot in his life, and the whole sobriety thing, and you know what I'm saying? So like the last thing he's thinking about right now is, maybe I'll just take an analyst role. Like, no, that guy wants a head coach role. I'll always root for Mike. If I could bottle up that feeling of us being together and that clip of him on the fucking private jet saying, if you're not fired the fuck up, check your pulse. If I could bottle that up, man, and just like every morning just take a sip, because, bro, that was one of the greatest moments as a fan for me as a Dolphin. Like, we had some fun times with him, man. Listen, he didn't get it done. Shit, it happens, bro. It's the NFL. It's not easy. It's the hardest league, okay? And at the end of the day, he gave us some fun moments, some electric fucking vibes that we forgot that we could even get down here. So I would like us to build off that and now bring in some sort of culture to basically catapult what we have and bring us over the top. That's why I do want somebody who has some standards to them that's won playoff games in the past.
Yeah, and Mike did deliver. I mean, like, those times kept going for a couple of years. We kept on the up and up with Mike. It was a fun time. We always go back to this joke, but like, dude, you take me back to that first drive against San Fran, dude, you couldn't tell me nothing. When Trent Sherfield caught that slant and took it to the house, we ended up losing that game, of course, but dude, that was peak.
He also gave you Skylar Thompson. Fair point, Fish Tank. we should be thankful.
Mike Tomlin thought Skylar Thompson was a good quarterback.
Fair, yeah. Maybe we should make a union here.
He also gave you Devon Achane.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Mike's scouting is pretty damn good. He had some really good draft picks on the offensive side, bro.
Definitely should have kicked the field goal. Looking back now, it's kind of fucked up.
Kick the field goal.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, Derek, I haven't really gotten the scoop from you as far as like, as a Dolphin fan, who would you like as a head coach?
Yeah, what'd you like out there?
Who would fit your standards?
I honestly just want to see a culture change. I just think, yes, we're in Miami, and yes, everybody sees it as this whole persona. But, I think, when you're in a league like this in the NFL, everybody's good. Everybody's fast. Everybody's big. Everybody's talented. I think when you look at this team like the New England Patriots, right, they have broken it down and done all the little things right. And they have, they just have a different mentality, a different culture over there. Why can't we have a head coach that can do that here? And I think, whatever coach it is, I just think the culture needs to be changed. It needs to be different. It needs to be more strict. It needs to be about the little things and about the team. And I think that's one thing the New England Patriots do and have done for a long time. And I think that's why they're bringing successful. They found a good quarterback. They have some missing pieces that they brought in, some younger guys that have stepped up. And I think guys have really, just brought out the best. I mean, look on some of their defense. I guarantee you, I was watching the game the other night. There was maybe 60% of the team not even know who the heck it was. There was guys running around. I was like, who is that? Guys at linebacker guy. And I'm like, and I looked them up, and the guys were like lower in the draft, undrafted. And these are guys that were just dogs, like just straight up. They just pulled them out of Wisconsin, chopping wood, and they just threw them out there on the football field. Like, they were guys, and it's like, that just shows what type of program, what kind of type of leadership that they have. Oh, and that's what honestly makes a team successful, be able to get to the Super Bowl. And that's almost on any level if you're able to do that.
Chopping wood.
Well, Joe's gone.
Must have got called for the baby.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe. Oh,
there he is.
Yeah, I got baby duty, boys.
Okay.
Joe Robbie signing out.
Till next time.
Father of one.
He's serious.
Yeah, I'm serious. I got a little baby duty to go do. I love you guys.
All good. I think we can make any last points on coaching, and we did have an entire slate of NFL wildcard football, pretty good games to break down. I know that's Dolphins aren't in it, but whatever. It's not Dolphins news. When is playoff news ever Dolphins news? But we can break down those games unless you got any extra bullet points on NFL head coaches.
I think we covered the coaches pretty good. I mean, we don't know, man. There's not been much out there really as far as like who people are interested in, and people's talking to everybody, but everybody's got a list of like 6 to 8 right now. There's like nothing.
There's a lot of this going on.
Yeah.
Kind of looking at each other like who's going to do what and who's going to. So I think that's, because I agree. I haven't seen a lot of buzz. I do agree with that right there. I'll tell you that. That is a good one. Rizzy back for special teams. That guy is a dog. He's a beast. I know him and his family very well. He's somebody that I think is very successful, and he's doing a good job over there at the Broncos.
I don't even know why we got rid of Darren. Like, the guy was an animal, man. Like, I always watch clips of him. I think that did we get clips of him? We didn't get clips of him on Hard Knocks, right? They were just like mic'd up moments and whatnot. But dude, he was such a dog in all of his clips. Like,
even when he was an interim coach over at the Saints, he was doing great. The players loved him. Everybody loved him. And that's what you love to see. I mean, even when the wins and the losses, when they're still just riding behind their guy, that's when whoa, pause. But when they're just going for their guy and their coach, and that just really shows you right there, like what the type of character and the respect that he has.
Yeah. I'm chilling. One thing like I said, Joe's all in on Harbaugh, and I guess I kind of read the room on this one. Ghost is all in on Harbaugh. Joe is gonna go like he's like a dog with a short attention span. He gets hype on shit every day. He's got a new agenda. So like he's all in on a new post. So like I'm trying to keep the like, I don't know. And I'm keeping my options open. It's helping me so far. Like I'm not going to be devastated when Harbaugh doesn't come or anything like that because I never really expected it. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep the even cool. We'll see how the process goes, but I'm not expecting anything huge.
Yeah, I really hope that if they do end up hiring Hafley, that it is a straight up talent and credentialed hire versus this is my guy. I think we've seen enough of that in Miami.
All right, we can jump to the wild cards. Y'all want to talk about what stood out, or y'all want to go game for game?
We go game for game, probably the easiest way. Start with Rams 34, Panthers 31. Great game, by the way. Great game to kick off. Yeah. Bryce Young sticking out. I mean, I can imagine playing like that and still losing the game. It's crazy, dude.
I think, Bryce, I think the biggest thing I saw in that game was, it looked like he cared. It looked like he was really just getting after it. It looked like, he wasn't being lazy. There wasn't, facial emotions when things went wrong. Like he was running the ball. He was reaching for the pylon, all these different things. And I don't see that in this game on a day-to-day basis. So to be able to see him really get after it and have passion for it, I think, obviously it's a playoff game, right? You're playing to the best of your ability. But I think that was the difference. And seeing him play like that, I think was just amazing.
Yeah. The Panthers in general overachieved this year. I got a bunch of buddies that are Panthers fans, obviously being from Carolina, but they were all upset. I'm like, what are you upset for? I'm like, dude, y'all overachieved by a long shot. You made the playoffs. You hosted a home game. Of course, it's the NFC South, so I get that. But like, dude, you went toe-to-toe with a juggernaut. Like, dude, I would love to lose by 3 to the Rams right now. Like, they're rolling. I was like, dude, y'all did good, man. That was a great step for their coach and their organization and Bryce. And they did the smart thing. They gave Bryce the 5th-year option. So they got one more year to see if he can replicate that or, expand on that. So I think good times in Pantherland.
Imagine giving a 5th-year option if you lose in the playoffs in the wild card.
What?
I said, imagine giving someone the 5th-year option at a rookie contract at quarterback if you lose in the wild card round. See what you got next year.
Yeah, I don't think our quarterback even played in the wild card round because he had concussion problems. But
anyway, I think it was a great game by McVay. Just what it's kind of like just these teams like coming in and, the Panthers, their defense did play pretty well towards the end of the year. They were super aggressive and just watching, oh my God. Yeah. Watching McVay just run like his horizontal progressions against a super aggressive defense, tight end screens, stuff like that. Those tight end exit routes that he's made famous this year with his 3 tight ends. It was just really cool to watch him scheme. Like, this is why he's running this. And it's not just like it's just like not a drawn up playbook. It's specific for the Panthers. And, Stafford really diced him up, but that horizontal versus that aggressive defense was really impressive to watch.
Yeah. McVay is somebody who I love McVay. My 3 coaches are McVay. Let's see. Mike Verb or the Patriots head coach.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel and God, why couldn't I say that?
Say it one more time.
Dan Campbell. Those are my 3 head coaches that any 3 of those do anything to have them in Miami. So
you had one of them in Miami.
Yeah. Well, now with what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Next game, Packers and Bears. Got 31-27. I'll start with saying I guess I got to apologize to Caleb Williams because that dude is a talent. His arm, I don't want to sound funny here. He's got a lot of ways overall to grow and keep growing as a quarterback. But arm talent-wise, that might be the best and most live arm we've seen since Rodgers. Like, that dude's arm is insane. He's running 17 yards backwards off his back foot.
Yeah.
Bullet, 37 yards on the outside. It's like, what are we even doing? Like, that kid's talented. And I had it wrong. I thought he was going to be a bust. Ben Johnson, just like Mike McDaniel and Tua. Hopefully the ending's a little different, but they're a match made in heaven. And Ben Johnson, dog. I mean, he's out there doing his thing. I think the antics are a little much at the end of the game. I think you need to learn how to in my opinion, you go and shake a man's hand and you move on. But nonetheless, it's cool to see the clips post game in the locker room. Fuck the Packers. We hate them motherfuckers. It's like, that's different. That's different. But, yeah. I mean, dude, they came back. They scored like 21, 24 points in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Hell of a game. I will say this too. Last thing I want to say. What a false advertisement all the snow clips were.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
Yeah. That was, I definitely thought it was going to be a snowy one, but Caleb Williams, for one, when you look back at last year, right, he was one of the most sacked quarterbacks. I think he was the most sacked quarterback of all time, of him just holding the ball in the pocket, not being able to get rid of it. I think this year when you're looking at it, especially obviously the other night, he's getting the ball out faster. He's confident in his decisions. He's scrambling, extending plays, and then he's either throwing the ball away or getting it down the field. I think that just it changes everything. He's not holding on the ball and taking these sacks and getting you into third and long, second and long, and that's a game changer. When you're able to run the ball, get it to third and manageable, third and medium, and opens up the playbook a little bit. Lets Caleb, take a shot on second down or look at these things, extend the play and throw it away so they can regroup on third down. And I think, when I saw him, the post game stuff of him giving the ball to the head coach after, it just showed, he seemed like he grew up. You saw maturity in him. You saw like he was ready to go. And that's, the second, third year guys like that. I think that's the biggest jump you see with guys like Drake May. Caleb, he looks like he's going to be a guy, and his arm talent is just nuts.
No, for sure.
I think watching Caleb Williams and his progression in the pocket as a pocket thrower, throughout towards the end of the season, and even just from the first half to the second half, using like half rolls and versus just kind of bailing on straight pressure. He showed a lot of poise in that second half, especially with the comeback. And I mean, like you said, live arm. It was impressive. It was impressive.
He's sneaky athletic too. Like he'd go pick up 30 yards. Like
sneaky, is it, dude? He was looking like rookie Mahomes or second year Mahomes out there.
No, yeah, Caleb Williams definitely righting a bunch of wrongs and controlling narratives right now. Also, like what Wingo was saying, it's good to see Ben Johnson keep like all the shit that was awesome in Detroit. He brought it over. Like lean on your run game. Have two juggernauts. You're going to pound the ball. You're always going to lean on that and set everything up from that and have big plays and exciting plays. But it's cool to see that someone actually take what made them good and bring that and put it into another system, and it worked. So that's been cool for me.
Yeah.
What are we doing, Miami?
I know.
What are we doing?
What a freaking – now this one was probably the most anticipated for Dolphin fans over the weekend. Bills 27, Jaguars 24.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Bills came away on top. 3 points, man. Game of inches.
God.
Game of inches.
I really wish the Jags would have won that.
They were there. There.
I don't know what's up with Josh Allen. I don't know if it's something at home but I haven't seen him these past few games. I haven't seen the Josh Allen that I've been, used to watching. So, I mean, I guess guys are picking up on, James Cook, being so versatile out of the backfield, not only just being able to run the ball, but catch it. The receivers got to step up. They got to step up. When you look at it's just, I don't know. I think the receivers got to step up on a big play. Josh Allen, he's got to be the Superman Josh Allen. I just haven't seen that. So honestly, I don't see them going very far this year. I know they just breezed past the Jags, but I just haven't seen it so far on them.
I mean, I would love to have a quarterback that can put up 300 plus total yards and 3 touchdowns in a playoff game. But yeah, I mean, it's we're kind of used to Josh Allen doing, I hate using it because it's a Buffalo Bills term, or fan term, I should say, doing Josh Allen things. Yeah, I think it's definitely calmed down a little bit, but he played his game. He played his game against the Jaguars.
He was banged up too. He went to the medical tent. I mean, concussions apparently don't exist anymore. His head, his finger got he was taking some hits.
Yeah.
I think that what always impresses me about Josh Allen, hate to give more compliments, but it's always like he could have the worst game. I think Ghost kind of was hinting to this. He could have the worst game known to man, but if it's fourth quarter and it's close, he's going to make that play. Like whatever play takes them over the top and they win by 1, like he's going to make it. In that game, dude, the quarterback sneak he took for 10 yards, damn near scored a touchdown. Dude, people aren't just doing that. And then he turns around, does it again, runs right through the defense, touchdown. I'm like, geez, man, this is just, yeah. My thing is, I don't think the Bills are built to win a Super Bowl, but I also feel like they always can. Like this could be the year they do sneak by and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
This one was pretty spicy here. 49ers 23, Eagles 19.
I can't believe what the Niners are doing with this injured team. Like I'll never accept injury excuses ever again after watching the Niners do what they did this year. You can't. How do you accept any injury excuse ever?
Robert Saleh probably had the biggest and most impressive performance by a defense coordinator of the whole weekend.
I'd say so. Yeah.
The dude, no Fred Warner, which is like bigger than losing most stars because Fred Warner runs the whole defense. And like, first of all, we'll talk about Fred Warner too. He's back already he definitely went to Germany and got the stem cells. But dude, the 49ers just keep on rolling. They got like 72 players on IR. George Kittle's drinking tequila in the locker room.
Dude, imagine.
It's like,
great.
And we talked about the tight ends on that team. They just keep rolling with tight ends. They just got them. What do y'all think about the power station next to the facility? And
I saw that.
Yeah, that's crazy news.
The trees are dead on this side of the field near the power station, and they're green on the other side of the field away from the power station. It's like, do you think that really has something to do with it?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, science is science, I guess. I guess. And then Kittle tears his Achilles, like, right after that article comes out. And who knows, man? Who knows? It was a wild article. It was a very interesting article for sure.
I'm just more pissed off at Philadelphia. It's just you go and win a Super Bowl, and then you come back this season and just abandon everything that you did to get to the Super Bowl last year. In certain games, they weren't running the ball the same. They weren't using their extra line package, and it was just blowing me away and just putting, Jalen Hurts, obviously not the best pocket passer in some aspects. And it's
not a best traditional. Yeah, he's not really a traditional quarterback.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know what Philly was doing, if they were trying to do something different or if it just wasn't working or it just looked completely different team, than last year. And I guess that's what it is. Sometimes that's the NFL.
Yeah, what I did notice, they were trying to get Saquon going on the ground, and like the Niners defense, despite injuries across that defense, two of the best players on their entire defense, not even playing.
Oh, that's true. Bosa too. I forget about Bosa.
Was not getting anything on the ground.
The boys from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Find a way to get him.
I knew Wingo was a good fit, but damn, he's free.
The boys from Wisconsin, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Dude, what's crazy to me is for the Eagles, it's like, I don't really know what the hell happened because they didn't really I could be wrong here. So before I say this, y'all tell me as I'd say it, but they didn't really lose any pieces.
No, not really. I mean, I think that they're not a worse team.
They lost Milton, the defensive tackle that went to the Patriots, I think top paid free agent. Okay, but the defense wasn't really the issue. But that's what's confusing to me is Saquon Barkley was untouchable last season. He's had a down season, not just this weekend, but for the season. Saquon, we didn't really see any of those fireworks. None of the big runs, none of the big plays. Jalen Hurts. I mean, I've always thought this. I don't want to sound like a hater, but Jalen Hurts, not a quarterback. When he has to actually play quarterback, if they get down by 10, you probably beat the Eagles because he's not passing you back into a game. I've always felt that way. Also, I think A.J. Brown wanted to punch Nick, how do you say his last name? Sirianni at one point. I think that's the quickest trade you'll see this offseason is A.J. Brown. It has to be, right? I don't know how you run that back knowing that dude wants to kill you.
He's going to Patriots.
He actually wants to kill. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Vrabel gets A.J. Brown back in New England with freaking Drake May. Jesus Christ. That makes a lot of sense. And this AFC, you get him out of the NFC. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know what Jalen. I don't know. You watch the Eagles in their Super Bowl win. Saquon Barkley got held to 22 yards. He was averaging 1.8 yards a carry, and Jalen Hurts did it. He was the offense in that Super Bowl win. Obviously, the defense really gave him like an untouchable, insurmountable lead. But Jalen Hurts, he was the ground game. He was the passing game. But he just really didn't see that this year. And
That's all.
I live in PA, it's like in the mid-Atlantic area, and know a lot of Eagles fans, and they were just pissed off at the offensive coordinator. And they kind of echoed what Wingo was saying, was just like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're not even coming close to using the pieces that you did last year. Saquon's a 2,000-yard rusher.
Did they fire the OC last year too? Like in the offseason too? This is a new one, right?
I think it's a new OC.
No, they won a Super Bowl. No way they lost. Did a guy leave or something? Is it the same guy that won the Super Bowl with? It's got to be, right? You don't fire him after a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, I think it's the same. Oh, wait. No, maybe not.
Kellen Moore got a head coaching job. There it is.
Yeah.
Saints. Okay, I was like, you don't fire that. Okay, so Kellen Moore left. Okay, Kellen Moore's that dude. Now he's got freaking Shuck looking awesome. So there you go. We just figured it out. That was my thing about the Eagles. Last thing I'll say about the Eagles, but Ghost kind of hit it on the head. Last year, that playoff run was probably the most dominant run in playoffs we've seen in a long time. They made that look way too easy. And to go from that to literally beating the Chiefs, who were like the big bad wolf forever, by like 40 points to what we've seen this year, yeah, very disappointing. Well,
no shit. They had fucking Kellen Moore last year. He left.
We just said that.
Yeah. God damn it.
You got it.
We just said that.
Yeah, I know.
The chat will pull you right back in.
The chat. I was reading the chat, and then I wasn't even listening.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big But Kellen Moore, and he's in New Orleans now, and he's got Shuck looking good, who was like a late round quarterback, and yeah, that could have been it. You got Kellen Moore. He probably a bona fide head coach, being offense coordinator for one season. That worked out for them. All right, now this when it gets fun. Real fun for the one guy in the chat. Patriots 16, Chargers 3.
Yeah. Tough game.
It was just a tough game. It really was. Like, no one looked
great. It was
great.
tough to watch, too. It was just like a hard game to watch. But, I like what Vrabel's doing. Like, he doesn't let anybody all year in his offense. Nobody plays hero ball. He doesn't force anybody to play hero ball. He doesn't expect like super exceptional plays, and he plays. Dude, he's a football coach. Like, he plays football. He played.
Go Tar Heels.
And Herbert was pretty bad.
That is my Super Bowl crown, champion of the year. The New England Patriots, with just Drake May. I think Drake May is elite, but I just think overall as a team, just the way that they play, the way that they're complete special teams, offense, defense, it just, with their coach behind them, I think that is my Super Bowl team for this year.
I don't want to be drastic here. Like, I've been waiting for this, but like, dude, to have all the traits that Herbert has, the dude just can't win. It is what it is. It's not affordable at this point. You fire the OC today. You do whatever you got to do. The head coach got fired before Harbaugh. At some point, we got to talk about Herbert in the moment is just not that guy. I think he's a very talented kid. I think if he wasn't 6'5", huge arm, I ain't going to drop it, but certain skin color, I don't think he gets the love that he gets. I really don't. But he is those things. He has excellent traits. I just think between the ears, I don't think it clicks when it's time to really put it down. And, here we are.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, he just didn't play well. He's not getting it done. They had a chance to grab some momentum in that game. They had a turnover inside the 5-yard line, and the offense ran 4 plays and turned the ball over in downs. Like, you can't do that in playoff football. It's just not. It's not sustainable. It's just not.
I thought it was crazy, though. I will say this. They had 2 juggernauts on the ends. I don't know if both of them were out or one was out. The interior line, boy, the Patriots ate them dudes up. They were freaking teeing off on Herbert. So I'm not going to act like that wasn't real, but I did see a stat that was crazy. He has like 3-point-something seconds to throw on average, and there's a lot. There was an all-22 breakdown. There's a ton of stuff downfield wide open. He's just pumping the ball. getting teed off on. So, but your clock gets messed up a little too when you start getting rocked. You stop looking downfield a lot quicker.
Their offensive line is decimated though. I mean, I think they were doing like the intros to the offensive line for the Chargers, and it was like PFF 38 out of 38, PFF 37 out of 37, PFF 36 out of 36.
Yeah,
I did see that. It was crazy, man.
I don't want to downplay that. Like, and they got that dude I was saying, the top paid free agent football, Milton. They got some dogs up front. Christian Barmore from the Alabama. They got some dogs. And they were teeing off on Herbert. Honestly, I hadn't seen Herbert leave his feet like that ever. I don't think he was really getting hit. Like he was getting hit.
Yeah, when your clock's messed up, you've seen it. You've seen what happens.
Yeah. All right. Last game of the weekend, and honestly, this is probably the best individual performance we've seen. Texans versus Steelers, 30-6. That defense, dude. Holy shit.
I've been saying that's my team. Before playoffs even started, I think before even week 16 was over, I'm like, this Texas team is built for the Super Bowl.
Rodgers to retire.
Rodgers to Miami.
No,
Miami.
Retire. I think he.
Oh, yeah, we want him to retire. Yeah, it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
That was probably the best part about last night is that's one of those where when you get in that bed at night, Rodgers probably went, yeah, I don't want that shit again. Dude, I just know that he went when he woke up this morning, he was like, damn you, Danielle Hunter. Jesus Christ, dude. That D line was like, dude, they got some boys up. And the Steelers offensive line ain't nothing to laugh at, especially that interior. That's like two of our favorite interior linemen, Zach Frazier and what was the guy that had the ACL, but the Washington guard we wanted, but they got drafted right in front of us.
Fatano?
Was that the guy that got stiff armed by the defensive tackle? Dude,
no. I'm thinking of the offensive lineman.
Okay, the left guard got stiff arm back into Rodgers on his ass. It looked like Jonas Savaianaya. I was like, what the hell is happening? And then boys are like dogs. And dude, the Texans just like, yeah, no, not today. That's insane. What the Texans defense from front to back is probably the most talented group we've seen in a long time. That defense is insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unbelievable what they were able to accomplish this year. And like I said, they were getting that offense going towards the end of the season. That was the Texans' biggest thing. Like I said, in the beginning of the season, the Texans were giving up, like I think it was less than 14 points a game, and they had a losing record, like through a quarter of the season, something like that, something crazy. And I'm like, once this offense starts scoring some points, which they started getting rolling at the end of the season, like who's going to score points in this defense? I don't know. Of the teams that are in the AFC right now, I don't know. Maybe the Bills, because Josh Allen could just run fucking quarterback sneeze for 4 quarters. Who knows?
Not on that D-line. I think Aziz Shahir would probably try to decapitate him. At some point, he's just going to take that 15-yard penalty and get rid of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He's doing a big contract soon.
Is that Rosenhaus?
No, it's not. I wish.
I wish.
Yeah, I'd go try to any of those anybody on that starting defense last year of their deal, I would try to get
say anybody on the Texans defense, I'll give you my phone number and just give me a call.
Dude, because you know how that is. Like, I remember when we overpaid Daniil Ellerbe. Anybody that comes off a Super Bowl defense is like overpaid. So you find a fringe guy or a starter that's not really that great, but he's on a crazy defense. You get him, you get a payday. What was that, Ghost? What was the reference somebody made about the Texans defense looked like? The dinosaurs
it was Velociraptors with machine guns.
That's great.
I mean, dude, they didn't like the Steelers did not stand a chance. And I think the Texans are going to do the same shit to the Patriots. Like, I really don't. Either the Patriots are going to shut down because the weak link is the Texans offense. That's where you could attack that team. That's where you could win football games, causing turnovers, shorten field positions. But you're not going to score easy points, if any, against this Texans defense. You're not. You're just not.
My biggest gripe on the Texans, when Ghost picked them as the Super Bowl favorites, I just didn't think Stroud can do enough every week to win a Super Bowl. And I still believe that because he kind of proved that to me. I mean, it wasn't Stroud's show for sure. But dude, that defense is special. And I mean, it might just be that good. It might be good enough where you can go score 17 points, win some ugly playoff games, sneak into a Super Bowl. I mean, but I will say this, the Texans, Nico Collins is banged up again. He's back in concussion protocol. That's not good. But dude, Christian Kirk had a legacy game. I think he had as many receiving yards last night as he did for like half as much as the whole season. So like Christian Kirk was going off.
Woody
Marks. Oh yeah, he was hype after that touchdown, boy. Yeah, that was nice.
The celebration.
I think it was funny to see. Not funny for the player, but nonetheless, dude, Steelers fans are like, Jonnu Smith, the worst player in football. That is insane. It's like, dude, hey, whatever. Grass ain't always greener, you know. It's funny how, one man's treasure is another man's trash. It's really schemes really matter, and coaches and stuff. Because Jonnu, I mean, I would have took him over anybody last year.
Yeah.
So
you can't hate the guy for taking care of himself, taking care of his family.
And getting paid.
And getting paid. Like no one else is giving him that deal. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, he was at what, $3 million with Miami, and I think they wanted to go to at least 8, and then he gets 12 from Pittsburgh. Come on now, I mean, what any person in their right mind wouldn't take that?
It just hit me that Jonnu Smith is Rosen.
Where's Nico Collins?
Okay. Hey, you got one. You got one headed to the next round. No, I think I had talked to somebody too. It was kind of an unfortunate scenario. Obviously, McDaniel, and then the lack of weapons. Ghost always says this. How many people got hurt last year? Jonnu really had a chance to be the staple of the offense, and McDaniel really used them. Yeah. And you could say, like, McDaniel got Dolchik off the street, turned him into a bona fide starter. I mean, Waller comes out of retirement. He's catching multi-touchdowns a game. Like, maybe McDaniel's just good with tight ends, but you go to Pittsburgh and they got 3 starting tight ends. It's hard to get in a rhythm. It's hard to be the guy. They got Darnell Washington, juggernaut. Pat Freiermuth, starting tight end. And you're thinking Jonnu, they probably thought they could use him as a weapon, maybe something like a receiver or a slot.
Well, they had him at running back the one week, taking a toss sweep.
Well, he scored against the Dolphins.
Yeah. We called that on Armstead's podcast, too. Said that he was going to run one in. Insane prediction, dude. I wish I could have bet on it.
That's probably the greatest. I'm probably wrong here, but that's probably the greatest FIU Panther there ever played there, Jonnu Smith. Actually, you know who else is a FIU Panther? Wingo, let's see if you know your clients.
Oh, God. I just talked about it last night, and I'm forgetting. I think it wasn't it Tart?
Tart, yep.
Yeah.
Jonnu's roommate.
Yep. And there's one more. I just can't think off the top of my head.
Oh, Ty Hilton. Ty Hilton might be that guy.
I was just talking about it last night, too.
Yeah, I remember Jonnu and Tart I think they might have came together, or they were training that offseason together. I remember that was a big deal. The FIU boys.
David did have it.
FIU as well. I bet you don't know this. It was a receiver. I'm trying to think of a way to give it to you.
I'm not going to know it, so you can give it to me.
It was a very well-known award of the week on Twitter that actually went to FIU shortly that nobody knows.
Well, that hand didn't help at all. But good. I can hear it goes typing.
It's for CTE.
I'm looking at FIU award.
Oh, CTE moment of the week?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Antonio Brown?
Yep.
Oh.
Antonio Brown actually went to
holy shit.
Over to what was it, Western Michigan or somewhere?
Yeah. I think it was. Yeah, he has that he always posts that the picture from the team roster. He's like this.
Yeah.
And he's like, there were signs. Oh wow. David said AB got kicked out. It would have been Ty Hilton and AB at the same time with Cristobal.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. The coaching trees always confuse the shit out of me. It's like, it's amazing how coaches come up. They literally come out of nowhere.
It's a long story, AB's story about, we were actually talking about it last night about how it all went down and how it happened. But it was a good thing that he got out of down here and got somewhere else.
It was a good thing?
Yeah.
Where did he get to?
For what was going on and what kind of was transpiring, let's just say he was better off in Western Michigan.
Oh, you're talking about the FIU thing. I thought you were talking about like currently. I was like,
No. I don't know what he's doing now.
He was in the Middle East hiding out on TikTok or something. I don't know. Then they went and got, he's got like it doesn't matter. I know he's Rosenhaus, so I'll stop there.
No, not anymore.
We had
he's not?
No.
Oh, I guess he's a freelance. I mean, I guess he does what he does.
We had some contact with AB trying to get him.
Just spoke to St. Thomas the other day to like the young kids there.
Really?
Yeah, like literally like 3 days ago. I saw it on Instagram and he was speaking to the kids on the St. Thomas field. And I was like, what? I couldn't even imagine Roger Harriet letting him or Twan Russell letting him kind of just walk in there and I don't know.
It's like it reminds me of the scene from Waterboy when LT's teaching the kids. And he breaks out of that field.
Which brings
me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Dude, the thing about AB, though, I do want to say this. AB, one of the most talented receivers ever. Undersized, didn't matter, dog. But man, when he turned the other way, he turned. And it's insane to see. Like it really is. I guess that's I don't know if that's always in you or one too many hits or I don't know the science behind it, but boy, that dude turned into a menace. Dude, remember the freaking horny phase? Dude, he went crazy there for a while, dude. I remember he got that pull that one time. I was like, Jesus Christ, AB. Holy, dude. AB went crazy there for me. He's posting stuff on his Instagram story. I was like, dude, this guy's wild. Yeah. Like Go said, I think I told you about this, Wingo. I got a hold of you throw your line out. When we started podcasting, you throw your line everywhere, you know what I mean? And I reached out to everybody. And dude, AB replied immediately. Like I was like, yo,
you told me this.
Yeah, I was like, yo, AB, would love to get you on, man. Let me know if we can make it happen. We have never been honestly, we'd never been asked to pay for anybody before. So like I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't prepared for him to reply in the first place. But AB replies, he's like, what's your budget? And I'm just like, that's all that's like that's your question. Like I guess AB, that makes sense. But I was like, I don't know, man. Honestly, we ain't never done nothing like this. Like what, 20, 30 minutes, what we looking at? This guy was like 3,000. And I was like, if I knew that he would show up, I talked to the guys. I was like, dude, if I knew he would show up, it would probably be worth it. But like,
I don't think you ever see that money again. And I don't think that we ever get AB on the podcast.
Yeah, I think he would have took off with our money, but we'll always have that. What could have been with AB,
Could have been.
Jesus. Yeah, AB on Theo Vaughn's podcast was crazy. That's what I'm talking about, though. You see stuff like that, and you're like, man, I'd pay $3,000 for that. I'm just saying. Exactly. I just want to be clear. I would pay $3,000 for that. That's AB. I would do it.
If we got that.
But I need 3 contracts. I need a witness. I need what I'm saying?
We know a good sports agent who has connections to a really good lawyer.
There we go.
I'm just saying. Private.
All right, boys.
Yeah, I think it's.
Well, we talked about a lot of stuff I didn't see come. Oh, Wingo, I did want to give you the chance because I did it at the beginning of the show. Wingo, they know the full spill, by the way, too, so you don't have to hold back. Wingo is a part of the Friday show. What are we thinking about that, Wingo? You've seen the kind of infrastructure we got.
Just guys being dudes, just hanging out, enjoying each other's company, and giving some takes and some spiels. I'm excited. It's gonna be pumped. I think it'll be super entertaining. Some more takes. We'll have some exciting guests on there. It'll be fun, live show. Just being able to kind of go through takes, go through everything, dive in deep dives, breakdowns. So yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be enjoyable.
Dude, I was telling them, I was super impressed with the production side. Even as a raw, first try, we're not even where we're gonna be. I was like, oh shit, these boys are not playing around. So I'm excited for that to be out there. David says, can't wait to do the show with you, but I still need you to follow me back.
Re-click it so I see it.
Re-click it. There you go. All right, cool. Oh yeah, Brooks being back on the PGA. They tried to talk about that the other day. We got to start watching everything. We got to be prepared. All right, boys. Guess that was good. Hour and 20. We haven't went that long in a minute.
That's my cue to go. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Rosenhaus definitely does this. All right, boys, we're out of here. Appreciate y'all. See y'all next week. See you Friday. See you Friday at noon.
Hell yeah.
Friday at noon. All right, we're out.